I know you're not talking about somebody being lucid and cogent and enunciating their thoughts with clarity, and you're bragging about Donald Trump. We can't be watching the same stuff if that's what you're doing. You ain't gonna do that today. You know, are you gonna beat it, Sean? Are you gonna beat it? Or are you gonna beat it?
It's a straight up. It's straight up. The American people.
Are you as confident as you were months ago?
Right. A bit of a tone shift for you guys. ESPN Stephen A. Smith got into a heated argument with Sean Hannity last night over Hannity's claim that Trump is more dialed in than Kamala Harris. In what deluded world is that remotely true? Let's start at the beginning and hear Sean Hannity's very long-winded answer that set Smith off in the first place. Take a look.
All right, so let's stay on Kamala Harris for a second here. Democrats are in a state of panic. Although momentum seems to be going to Donald Trump. I told you this would happen in a private conversation we had. You were skeptical. I think I was proven right. You know sports better than I do. I think I know politics. I know.
You do.
But here's my question for you. You did call her out early. And you said she's making a mistake not doing interviews. Now, she does these interviews, and I argue to you that the reason she's struggling and she's like tied up in a pretzel, because she can't express what she has stated publicly, that she wants the Green New Deal, the elimination of the filibuster. So she has to, give us word salads because she won't tell us how she really feels. She's hiding her true beliefs. Well, Donald Trump doesn't do that.
All right, so this is when Smith jumped in defense of Kamala Harris. Take a look at what he had to say.
As Vice President of the United States, it wasn't her job to lead. She has to go along with the program. You are a support base. You support the person that is in charge, who happened to be Joe Biden. That's number one. Number two, I know you're not talking about somebody being lucid and cogent and enunciating their thoughts with clarity, and you're bragging about Donald Trump. We can't be watching the same stuff if that's what you're doing. You ain't gonna do that today.
You know
now,
what?
Lindsey Graham, hold it. Now, Senator Lindsey Graham is about to come on this show.
Let me tell you something.
That man can articulate himself very well. Not Donald Trump now.
I have sat with him for hour after hour after hour, topic after topic after topic, and he is so dialed in. Look, it's funny. People try. This is like the latest argument. And meanwhile,
all right, and whenever any Democrat decides to challenge the mental capacity of Donald Trump, the Republicans have to deflect away from that because they know that they can't actually win that argument. So they try to do like a Uno reverse on it and talk about Joe Biden, who, by the way, is not running for president, and also Kamala Harris. Smith was not having it. Here's more.
Your friends in the Democratic Party, they ignored the obvious, significant, deep cognitive decline of the president for over 4 years. I said it before the 2020 election. Kamala to this day say, oh, Joe was really cognitively alert. You know that's a crock. I know that's a crock.
What is she supposed to say, Sean?
Knows it's a crock. Not Donald Trump.
Sean, what is it? Hold on. What is she supposed to say? She's supposed to sit up there and say, you know what, my president, my boss.
Truth.
I mean, there was cognitive decline there. No, you're not. No, you don't do that. You don't dime out your boss. You don't. Listen, I do tell the truth on my show, but guess what? So I said I do. What I said, however, is that I'm not going to dime out my boss if that's my boss. Go ahead.
Whoa, hang on a second. You know what? I have never watched you hold back. You say what you mean. You mean what you say. That's my point.
Okay, and then there was more to it, but somebody posted this on X, and it's very funny. It's a very clever screen grab. We'll show it to you now, and the tweet says, "Put it in the Louvre." Just Stephen A. Smith's face is so classic there. But you know what? I know we only have a few minutes left, but Cenk, the word salad thing, I'm tired of it compared to the things that Trump says. Like, we have to read Trump's quotes on the show sometimes, and I hate doing it because it's so incoherent. In a quote, I can't read what he says. What do you think?
Yeah, two things. One, I watched the whole thing, and Hannity does exactly what I can't stand in these shows. He speaks for 2 minutes. Stephen A. Smith speaks for 15 seconds. Boom, he interrupts him. Every time Stephen A. Smith goes to make a point, interrupt, talk over him. So you guys, some of you might have seen me do interviews like Lex Friedman's interview, or even the Dan Bongino interview that I did today, where we have a perfectly civil conversation, go back and forth. And then you see me doing interviews where I'm yelling. And you say, oh, why the big difference? Because when somebody doesn't interrupt me, we have a great conversation. We go about the same amount of time. You go there, I go, you go. It's that. But on Piers Morgan, on cable news, etc. What the right wing does is just keep talking, and when the other side starts talking, just interrupt them. And my whole life, the left has been like, oh, okay, sir, thank you, sir. Yeah, why don't you just get all the airtime and don't let me say anything? Nah, I don't play that, okay? And Stephen A. Smith doesn't play that. So, but even so, he likes Sean Hannity too much, deferring to him way too much. I like that he did the defense, but now the second thing is, the crux of the argument is Sean Hannity says, oh my God, you got to call, Kamala Harris should have called out her boss, and she should have said that he was in mental decline. Okay. I hear him on that, because the number of times that Sean Hannity has called out Rupert Murdoch on Fox News is, all right, 0. You know, Sean Hannity makes $40 million a year. That's why he hasn't said a word about Rupert Murdoch, okay? Because he knows, shut up and do whatever propaganda Rupert Murdoch wants you to do. That's what you get paid for, you blockhead. So my ass, you'd call out your boss. You've never done it, you never would do it, because your job is to be servile. And then, but my all-time favorite was when he said, oh, Trump, he's in such great shape. I've sat with him for hours. He's so dialed in. You know what that reminded me of? It's exactly what Joe Scarborough said about Joe Biden. You turn on MSNBC, oh my God, you guys don't know. He looks like he's totally in mental decline. But we have secret meetings because we're pals, and I pretend to be objective here on TV. But my pal Joe Biden and I talked for hours, and he is so sharp. Oh my God, he's like 24 behind the scenes. And Sean Hannity's like, oh, don't worry, I talked to Trump for hours, and he's so sharp and all dialed in. And then you see Trump on TV, he's like, they're an enemy within, they're eating the cats and dogs. You gotta shoot them, you gotta use the military. I'm telling you, this is what's happening. The Venezuelan gang took over the whole town of Aurora, Colorado, they're now running it. The Republican mayor of Aurora is like, no, they're not. Okay, so Sean Hannity is a really well-paid liar. His job is to lie to you day in, day out, and that's exactly what he did there.
I want to talk to people a little bit about psychology and the human brain. The human brain will actually substitute repetition for fact. What I mean by that is, if you hear something enough times, you will start to believe it's true, even if it's not. That's my problem with word salad. I am so tired of hearing that word. That's those two words together. I don't care if after this election, I never hear it again. It is ridiculous to me that freaking Republicans can sit on TV and keep a straight face and act like Trump is talking about anything other than sharks, and he knows more about windmills than anybody, and the windmills are making the sharks batty. So I'm over this. I don't even play this game with Republicans. Also, Stephen A. Smith does not get a pass. This idea that Sean Hannity is somehow an avid or a knowledgeable person when it comes to politics, and he let him slide with that, is absolutely stupid. You're supposed to be a journalist, Sean Hannity, and pretending that you are a purveyor of the knowledge of politics and how to move elections and strategies around election means nothing to me, because your idea of political strategy is lying on voting polls and voting machines.
You know, to Mondale's point, when Walz and Harris were calling Trump and Vance weirdos, that stuck. That was working, because they are weirdos. And then they went away from it. Why? Why did they go away from it? Every time they talk about Trump, they should have said unhinged and unstable. Unhinged and unstable. Because the next time you saw Donald Trump speak, you'd be like, oh yeah, unhinged and unstable. So the Republicans are so wrong on policy, so wrong on the facts. I just get frustrated with the Democratic Party, because come on, you gotta be able to beat these guys. You gotta be able to beat these guys, and sometimes, or oftentimes, they don't. Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR, so those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.